So we are at the expo, the Best You, and as you know, we're here looking to meet interesting and people from all kinds of diverse backgrounds. And so yesterday I met someone who said, you've got to meet this guy. This guy's called Sesh. So here we are. Sesh,
thank you.
Pleased to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. How's it going?
Very, very, very well. So great to meet you, Tony, too. We're at Best You in London, in Olympia. It's really around, connectivity, as you said. This whole space has got hundreds of really good entrepreneurs. People who every day are trying to make a difference.
Right.
And that power of connectivity, we've just seen that work today. And also, we're going to introduce someone else to this conversation through the power of connectivity. So I guess, how do I use this time now to share a message to everyone?
So we'd like to find out about you, because I heard some really powerful things about you, your background,
yes.
what drives you. So let's start off with that. Like, what's your passion? What drives you?
Thank you. So, Tony, first of all, I'm an entrepreneur. And what does that really mean? Well, I go beyond ideation to actually developing businesses and opportunities. I've worked with small, medium-sized businesses. I don't just dream. And that's the challenge. We all have a passion. We all can dream. But it's the actions that leads to results.
Absolutely.
So, I'm probably an entrepreneur who's seen the highs and lows of businesses. That's part of the journey, right? That's
absolutely
part of life, right?
Absolutely. So something that you've already touched on, I'm really interested in, is that, so you probably have seen the sea of change where there's a level of consciousness where more and more people are recognizing that a job for life, that doesn't exist. And so people are moving from the mindset of being employed to the mindset of being an entrepreneur. But as you said, it's a very lonely road.
Correct.
And 80% of new startups don't make it to their third anniversary.
You've got it.
So you've got some tips that you could share.
I've got a secret sauce.
All right.
And it's interesting because we're sitting behind, mamas, dreaming big together. And an entrepreneur always has a dream, always has a passion. But what's the secret recipe? What's that secret sauce that makes it manifest? So there's three things I think we need to consider. One is, you've got to make a decision on whether you are going to be a solo entrepreneur versus building a business that can scale. And there's a mindset shift there, because the solo entrepreneur wants to do it. They have the passion. We meet every day leaders around the world that has a passion. As you said, 80% of businesses don't succeed. Not because the ideas aren't great, but because we are so, what can I say? Caught up
in our vision, in
our dreams. Now, I've got three things that I'd like to share, and this is sort of my secret recipe. You need a dream team. But what does that really mean?
Well, you know what? Before you actually share those three things,
yes,
I want to qualify you, because there might be people saying, well, yeah, this guy's got some ideas, but why should I listen to him? And you've had an interesting background, so can you put it into context, and then we'll give them the nuggets.
Yeah. So, Tony, that's really interesting. So there are leaders out there, and each one of us is a leader. There are leaders that are very well profiled, and that's their choice. And there are many, many entrepreneurs around here, people here today, who make a difference in people's lives. They have their own audience, they have their own following. So I'm very understated, but that's a choice. So just to give you an idea of who I am, I've been a corporate leader both in the UK and the US. I've worked with boards around the world, I've worked with governments, and I've even worked for 2 presidents as a consultant. Okay? Right. So I think I've got, quite a bit. Yeah. Now, let me just share with you, can I qualify this? I think that's...
Yes.
So let me give you an idea of what I'm working on currently. Imagine that you have an idea and you want to work with the global brand. So you've just got an idea. How do you manifest that idea and then partner with a global brand? How many people here would love to work with Coca-Cola? They have an idea. How many people would love to work with, as an example, Apple? But our mindsets are tuned in, I've just got an idea, and how do I reach there? Well, I'm the guy that knows how to reach there.
Wow.
Okay? So I wrote a book called Unlock the Collaboration Code. Why is that important? Because if you compete, it's the wrong energy. I'd rather collaborate.
Can you say that again? Did you catch that?
When you compete, it's the wrong energy. Think of the energy when we compete, when we go into competition. We're going to do anything we need to do to win. Do you agree? Anything. I'm going to take it. I'm going to steal it. I'm going to get one over. How many times do we hear businesses fail because the daggers in the back situation, or my teams fail because I've misunderstood them? So the psyche is to compete. I'm saying no. There's a far better source. The secret source is to collaborate. And everyone talks about partnerships. Everyone talks about alliances. Everyone talks about energy. We're in a place here today that's around that. But how do you do that? How do you move and manifest from this great idea to making it happen? So I've got the secret sauce. I know how to collaborate. So I collaborate with leaders. Right now I'm in a venture right now with my dream team. My dream team has metrics. We trust each other. We know where we're going. We know what the outcome is. Very, very clear. And we've just signed a deal with a global brand in the travel and business space. How many businesses would love that same opportunity, but they don't know how to do it? So for me, that secret sauce is you really have to understand your purpose. You have to. We hear about it over and over, but do you? When we say we've got an outcome, how clear are we on that outcome? How clear? What's our purpose today? What's our outcome? I'm not repeating something that's new. We hear it over and over again. But if you can collaborate with people and move from being a solo entrepreneur to having the dream team, you're halfway home. Now put the metrics around it. Now put the targets around it and build a trust. That's what I'm about. Does that make sense, Tony?
It makes perfect sense, even on so many levels.
Yeah.
So my audience know I'm always talking about things from a spiritual perspective because I've had a spiritual mentor for 35 years.
Wow.
And what I'm hearing you say from and through that lens is that the game has changed. We're talking now, rather than competing, which is very male energy, we're talking about the feminine energy of collaboration, working together.
There's love
and love.
And love. Because who wants to work with people that you don't respect or you don't have synergy? Who wants to do that?
Well, that was the old way, by
way.
winning by any means necessary. So I don't like you, but you know what? Because I just want to win, I'm going to do that.
Or you know what? You think that the money that's coming across the table that's what I need, but you forget that what comes with the money is a mindset of destruction. We hear it. How many businesses of that 80% fail because I've made the wrong decision around the characters that I have around the table? We hear it.
So what you're saying, Sesh, is more important than the money, more important than anything is the trust that can be built up by those people that you have in your dream team.
I did a talk at the UN in New York last year on collaboration and entrepreneurship. Can you believe that? I've got the audience, diplomats, people around the world, and they asked me that same question. What do you mean about the dream team? And this is what I said. You need people who are smarter than you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You have to have people that are smarter than you, because if you don't, you are just going to be the solo entrepreneur. So in my dream team, you have to have a diverse set of people, diverse set of knowledge. People will challenge you, that's okay. But if the trust is there and the respect is there, everything is possible.
I just need to echo those two things that you said. Trust and it was trust and respect. Yeah, because sometimes what happens, you build a team, and someone comes in with some expert knowledge, and because they have that knowledge, they have the ego attached with it. And so when you ask a question, by the very response that they're giving, it's like, are you dumb? You're supposed to know that.
But Tony, how many people can counter that situation? The ego is at the table. It's sitting in front of you. How do you counter that? Do you have the talent and the skills to address that? And most people don't have that because we're not taught that as an entrepreneur. We're not taught to collaborate. We're not taught to deal with those difficult situations. And that's where trust, we talk about trust over and over again. What does that mean? What does that really mean? So you have to earn that over a period of time. Don't go and make decisions straight off the bat because you think it's really, really great. Take some time. Take a step back. But we don't, because our psyche is to win. I've got to win. I need this money now. I need that customer now. I need to do X. Well, that's fine, but be realistic with it. But our psyche doesn't lead us that way.
Yeah. So for some of us who are not even too far away from us, their psyche, it's about being driven and just rushing, almost just chasing that money.
And it's not about money, it's about the outcome. Be clear in your outcome.
No, you used to say that again, I didn't quite hear you. Did you say it's not about money?
It's not just about money, because how many people do you know that have billions in their account but they're unhappy? Or they die early because of the stress. Their wellness is not taken care of. I was one of those leaders that I used to work 16 hours a day. Trust me, I've been there. But at what cost? Do I want to do that again? No way. I'm much more happier having that balance. You can only do that when you're self-aware. You're conscious about your purpose. So that comes back to your spiritual piece, right?
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely. Consciousness, awareness.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, it doesn't matter where you are around the world. If you have the passion and you have the purpose, everything is possible. Everything.
Wow. On that note, I think we're just going to press pause,
yes,
to let people really just take that in, because
Sure.
it's really deep. Unless there's any final message that you want to convey.
Tony, I think this is proof of the power of the universe in terms of manifestation.
Absolutely.
You don't know. It's the first time we're meeting, but you can feel the energy.
Absolutely.
You know, it's about connectivity. There are opportunities around us right now that we can seize. But as an entrepreneur, do you have the ability to seize those moments now? Or do you just walk by? Because if you walk by and you delay, there is a lost opportunity. And we know that because we're going to speak to someone very shortly who is known to me and has just become known to you.
Right.
But it just shows you of the power of connectivity. Collaboration is far stronger than competition.
Wow.
Okay.
And you know, just to round up on that.
Sure.
We're going to have a conversation. Yes, we've just met, but because we know that communication, 70% of communication is non-verbal, so I feel you. Yeah?
Thank you. I feel you too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Tony.
you.
Pleasure meeting you.
It's been a real pleasure. But we ain't done yet. We ain't done. So right now, I would like to introduce Stephanie, who she has been an angel actually, because I almost missed this appointment because we've been so busy, and we stepped out, and all of a sudden this angel was in front of us, and she was like, where have you been? Where have you been? I've been looking for you. We got this meeting. I was like, oh yeah. And here we are. So please, Stephanie, come join us.
Thank you.
So
now I'm the angel, a very
you're the
happy
angel.
now.
And just for you to know, Stephanie's from Switzerland.
Yes.
And she attended a seminar that we did called Your Vision of the Future.
Oh right. Well, let's start right there. So
That's a big vision.
And that's a big one. But there's a connectivity.
Yes.
So, my angel, because I do not like breaking my word, and you just saved me from breaking my word without even realizing it. So I'm grateful already. So, and I don't even know. We only met very briefly yesterday. So, my new angel, tell me, what do you do other than save people from breaking their promises?
Well, that's actually what I do. I save people. I think I just had a very brand new description of what I'm actually here to do on this world. And actually, it goes so beyond just saving somebody's life or something, but it's actually saving the person from dying, from becoming a robot. And I could have met you yesterday. We actually just met yesterday.
Yes.
And if I had been a robot, like being disconnected from the moment, being disconnected from my being and my mission, then I would have totally missed you. And because I am absolutely on purpose, I'm alive, I have love that I nurture every day in my life. I'm absolutely connected to everything that needs to happen around me and for me and because of me. And yesterday, when we met, it's like, I got to be here again tomorrow.
Yeah, so let's just break it down for the camera, because I only heard this about 20 minutes ago.
Yes.
So prior to us meeting, you were not supposed to be here.
No.
She's meeting me on Thursday.
Yes.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
So
out of all things.
if we want to talk about the real power of being in alignment, and I think this is really what we can offer to you who are listening, the power of being in alignment.
Correct.
So I'm coming to London for a 3-day business training event. I'm not supposed to be here because this is today, tomorrow, and Monday. But Sesh tells me we can meet on Friday when you get into town. I say, okay, so we had a meeting yesterday to spend the afternoon together. Now, Sesh tells me, well, there's this Best You Expo, so you should go and check it out. I'll be there. I say, okay, and then let's postpone our meeting for Tuesday. Now, yesterday I was not supposed to be here in the first place, and then when I met you, it was simply an introduction telling me that you're going to interview Sesh, and I had just said to the person who introduced us, I just said, I'm not sure I'm coming back tomorrow. Right? Get this? He's there, he's introducing us. And then I look at you, we say hello, and you ask me, are you coming back tomorrow? And I say, yes, I am. So, what happened there is I'm not thinking from here, but I'm absolutely, yes, I am. And so I'm here. And I actually dropped from the event I was at just to come here for noon today. And that's
power of manifestation, but true, as you said, it's from within. The light.
It's from within. Yes, and our connection with Sesh is the same. My commitment in saving people's lives is just to save mine first. Yes. And because I'm alive, because I'm alert, because I'm really present, I'm only saying, it's your command. Where do you want to be? And then I'm just this puppet. And they're like, okay, I got to go to London. I got to go to South Africa. I got to go to next is Australia. And that's how it works. So really, when we are in service, in love, we don't need to coach, to train, to do anything to others. We just need to do it and live it. And this is how I save people's lives, if you want to say that, or
Stephanie,
moments.
I think there's something more important here. We use the word love.
And interestingly, this is a Love Week, yeah, Valentine's.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
How do we make people understand the genuineness of the word love? Because you mentioned the word ego earlier. How can you truly love someone if your ego is dominant? So dominant that it blinds you. We've all been there. Does that make sense, Tony? We've all been there. So there is a realization, there's a recognition that there is pureness in the word love. It has something special, but far too often we're so busy in our lives, and that's why I said it's not just about money. It can't be. We have a purpose. We have a purpose for ourselves and for the people around us. And if you can't love that purpose, you got it, Tony?
What have you got?
What have you got?
Yeah.
But we're not taught that. Where are you taught that at school? Your grandchildren or your kids, where are you taught about the essence of love?
You know, you're so right, Steph, and it's been my passion and my dream, hence the reason why, having been in the educational sector, I realized that, you know what, we have to create our DADA Success Academy, which teaches these things that you don't find in any school, college or university.
Yes, yes.
So there are, and that's the challenge here, there are so many leadership schools, so many courses, but one of the biggest challenges is how do you unlock the talent from within? We know that, right, Tony? But part of that talent is the respect for yourself.
Yeah.
And that takes time.
So you've got to start it early.
Yeah.
And anyways.
If I may add something to this, is like I see a lot of people who talk about love, and we have a concept in our head, but to actually have that type of alignment that I received yesterday, this is yes. It's like it's the love is animated, it's vibrant, and it emanates, and it's connected, and it's vibrating. It's not just here something that I know, because again, if that had been the case, I'm here. I go and teach about love, I go and talk about love, I go and do interviews about love, but then I miss the point because I'm not in love in that moment, totally open to, yes, this calling is here. And this is what I actually have shivers saying this, because this is really
interesting. You take it from a business entrepreneur's perspective. Would you rather do business with someone you like, that you resonate with, or someone that intuition is saying, I'm not sure, but you still go ahead and make the wrong decision? Which one would you prefer, Tony?
Clearly, I'm going to do it with the person that I'm feeling.
Right.
Yes.
And that's where there's an opportunity to share the secret sauce.
Yes.
How do we tune into this dimension, this secret ingredient about who we should work with and why? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. This is actually, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs around the world, and this is to ignite that essence in each one of us, because if we were all to do business like this, I mean, now we could have an interview like last for hours.
Well, you know from the event we did, there are leaders out there, trust me, you know this, how many people do we know that are sincere and really in tune with what we're saying? They're out there. We need to have the ability to have a conversation just like we've just done now, spur of the moment, bring people in to actually connect. And I can tell you, there are leaders that I'm working with right now globally who want to do business, even though you just might have an idea.
Yes.
No egos at the table.
Yes.
I'm smiling because I'm like, what is happening today? What have you...
A new world. We are creating it. This is our mission. This is our mission to all of us who are away to bring everybody together. The movement that I'm leading right now is World in Light Partners. Well, it's partners that are in light, that are working together globally.
World in Light Partners. I love that.
Yes.
You know, I believe that they're really... Well, no, not I believe. The way you showed up just this morning instantly told me in the moment, there's a blessing for me right now.
And out of this whole exhibition, and anyone that knows the Olympia knows this is no small hall. Right. What are the chances that Stephanie is here in one of 3 or 4 big, auditoriums and is going to walk here? What is the chances of probability?
It's just crazy. So I'm working with a gentleman who's become my mentor in the last 6 months, who's a billionaire. And his vision is he wants to create a global community of 100 million entrepreneurs. This is the world that you're talking about.
Absolutely. It's already happening. Let's just join forces. This is the one thing that it really breaks my heart. Everybody is building their own little communities, and we need to go to the greater purpose. This year is about that. And to remove our egos. We talked about egos. Ego is don't touch my community, don't come and sell anything to my community. No, now we need to open those boundaries and do something much more bigger than ourselves. Yes. No, in the mental, we talk a lot about something bigger than ourselves. Yes. How do we live it? It's the same thing with love.
And how do we manifest it and express it?
Yes, it's happening.
And it's not just us. There are people around us. We all have our dream teams. My dream team is standing behind us. Your dream team is standing behind you. We can name them, but they're there. Let's not lose the respect for our dream team. Does that make sense?
It is a team. We cannot do anything alone. So we are partnering and joining forces. This is what 2019 is about.
Wow.
Anyway, so we've planted the seed?
Yeah, we've done more than plant the seeds. So let me just put it into context. So I'm working with NatWest Bank at the moment. They're one of our sponsors. Wow. And it's about, what we're wanting to do is put together a program that will allow people to engage in those early steps of entrepreneurship.
And who would you love to be mentored by? If you're an entrepreneur who has that idea and a passion, how do we bring together those people that have the level of understanding to nurture?
The level of understanding, the level of
vibration.
When you use the word nurture, to me that's saying the level of genuine love. Yes.
And they vibrate it. They're not just teaching it.
That's right. Because
that's a big difference.
So Tony, here's my commitment to you. You have someone else, 2 new people, in fact more people, who will support you in that journey. And we'll create the ecosystem. We can bring our parts to the table. I'm happy to give it away if it's going to make a difference in people's lives. Absolutely. So you've got...
We're going to shake on that, buddy.
Done. That's done. Commitment's
It's
made.
on camera.
Commitment is
I
on
don't
camera.
shake hands, but I hug.
No, she hugs.
Thank you.
Wow, this is
Thank
great.
you. And hang on. I'm here because of Christian.
Do you know what? Look, just look at my finger. We are about to say the same thing. Because I was going to say, before we end this, I want to bring on camera Christian.
And Preet.
Yeah.
Please, Christian. Thank you.
So we want to get a camera shot, but I want to say thank you, my man, because
Awesome.
this is the man that had the vision to say, I've got some people that you want to meet.
Yes.
So
Now, do you want something really creepy?
go for
Okay.
it.
Chris and I have been exchanging messages as well with Preet. And then for the last few months, there was no response from Chris nor Preet. And I'm like, well, I'm going to London, but I'm not going to bother contacting them again because they're not responding. And I want to put my energy where there's response. Guess who opened the door, literally, for me when I entered here yesterday?
No.
And I'm like, when we have a divine meeting that needs to happen, we cannot escape.
No.
We
and
cannot
let me share something else that's creepy. So the whole intention behind the DADATV platform was to reflect diversity. And look at this image right here.
Beautiful.
Isn't that, Andrew, isn't that crazy? Like, we couldn't have planned it better.
What about if we brought the circle of influence around us who have the same connection, the same vibrancy, and they bring their people, your army, and your goal around supporting entrepreneurs, grow their ideas from ideation into something that is meaningful.
Yes,
We
Lord.
know, we've been there, and we love small, medium-sized businesses. We
Yes.
love entrepreneurs. And Tony, I'm going to share this with you. There's no textbook that will tell you what's just happened here.
No,
It doesn't matter if you've been to college,
No.
you've been to
No.
university, it doesn't matter if you've been to Harvard, you've been to Cambridge. There's something beyond the textbook, and I'm going to give it to you this way. What are the chances of the dean of the MBA school, where I've done my executive MBA, become my client?
That's crazy.
I've been there. I've done it. So there is a lot more to theory, a lot more to the study. It's the soft aspect. And that's what I think what we've spoken about today. So,
And that soft aspect for me is the touchy-feely, the feminine energy, and that's what it's really about. And we are now at an opportunity where we're about to be able to embrace that, and that for me kind of reflects the dream team that you spoke about.
thank you. And that dream team, thank you, Christian. Thank you, Preet.
Pleasure, always. Pleasure.
We are now
Thank
part
you.
of your team.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so dope. That's just crazy.
We are now part of Tony's team.
Yes, we are.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
You didn't know.
The dream,
We
the
didn't
dream
know.
team, the dream team.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Chris.
Pleasure, man. All good. Always.
We are all amazing. Thank you.